decade. Well, Arsenal soon provided the answer. Pressure. In fact, it was pressure, pressure and more pressure. 23 goal chances in all. Watford defended stoutly, but it was a relentless red tide in the first half. And even when Arsenal did manage to eventually get the ball in the net, Paul Durkin was on hand to rule out Tony Adams' effort. The Arsenal skipper accepting the referee's decision, though clearly unhappy with something that Watford's Mark Williams said. Half-time, 0-0. Adams was again in the thick of it in the second half. One shot charged down, another beaten out before Thierry Henry scissor-kicked over the bar. It looked like being one of those afternoons, especially after Kanu tricked his way through only to hit the post. Arsenal were working up a fair head of steam, and a minute later from Freddie Ljungberg's cross, Kanu was denied by the woodwork again. Dadosuka came on, but he couldn't find a way through. 5 minutes to go, Martin Keown burst forward with a fierce shot. In the confusion, down went Kanu, but no penalty. 0-0 for certain now, we thought. But Kanu's frustration was to turn to pure joy. Luzhny's long throw, and the Nigerian with a magical touch inside the box. 4 goals now for Kanu this season, but none can have been as timely as this. For the second game running, Arsenal left it late, but another happy ending.
You've moved 2 points nearer Manchester United at the top, which must be extra cause for satisfaction.
Yes, because 1 week ago we were 6 points away, and they played at home and we played away, so it just shows that it can change quickly.
If you had to be ultra-critical, I suppose you'd say, well, after hanging on for 86, you should have hung on for the 90.
Well, I mean, the point is, we're just talking to the lads afterwards. I mean, all of the work they put in, and you've allowed a long throw to go into the feet of a centre-forward in the penalty box, and it's a basic thing that you don't do that. And, of course, towards the end of the game, when you are tired, you start to make these mistakes.
Yes, Taylor's men are learning the harsh realities of life in the top flight, while for the Gunners, it's now 3 wins in a row. They're on a roll. Arsenal 1, Watford 0.
The new camp remains just as you remember it. The awe-inspiring stage for English club football's most triumphant modern drama, still with stands right up to the stars, and still with stars to sparkle in front of them. Barcelona are top of leagues, domestic and European. Their depth is such that even Patrick Kluivert doesn't start tonight. Danny's hat-trick at the weekend eases him out. Winston Bogarde, Philippe Cocu and Luis Figo return after a rest on Saturday. Frank de Boer is preferred at the back to Abelardo. Arsenal rotate as well. Dennis Bergkamp starts. Lee Dixon and Nigel Winterburn re-adopt their fullback posts. Alex Manninger did pass his fitness test and keeps goal. And what strength there is on both benches. Arsenal's 3 Wembley scorers from last week are all there, and David Seaman, for the first time in his Arsenal career, is there as well. Arsenal's first ever competitive match in Spain, and boy is it competitive. Barcelona dripping goals just now, second favourites to become champions of Europe. Outside of Old Trafford, this is the test of a continental club side at this moment. Arsene Wenger has said he'll fight fire with fire and attack. If he wins, it'll go down as one of the results of anyone's managerial career, indeed of Arsenal's European history. Ron, it is quite a challenge for them.
One of the most exciting prospects of a game I can remember for years.
Guardiola, the captain, a Catalan. It's a political appointment as well as a very common sense one.
Yeah, he's the continuity player. He just sits in behind all the flair players, and he's got plenty of flair himself, but his job is just to keep the ball going. He'll sort it out, he'll switch the point of play.
What a range of pass he showed he had there as well. It was a super ball out to the right-hand side. This is Rivaldo, whose left foot is a potent weapon, and the potential use of it lured an indiscretion which has earned him a free kick by Grimaldi's challenge.
Yeah, I thought it was a rash challenge, to be fair. We know Rivaldo likes to shift the ball to his left foot. I thought Grimaldi could have just been a bit patient there and pushed him across, but he certainly obstructed him, and he's given him a chance to open his account.
Quite so. Just right of centre. 8 or 9 yards outside the penalty area. It is Rivaldo's territory, and it is Rivaldo to hit one. Dixon got a touch on it, Figo played it back in, and Manninger was stretched.
A slight variation, it didn't hit the ball when it was dead. Rivaldo, the little touch, the clever little touch of Figo, just moved the ball wide of the wall. Unfortunately for Arsenal, the shots and Figo's cross at the end wasn't deep enough.
Good, lively, open start to the game. Barcelona's first corner. Figo with it, right-footed out swinger, and kicked off the line by Lee Dixon. His stationing on the post was absolutely critical. Luis Enrique with the touch.
Well, there's a school of thought saying you don't leave people on the post. I've always insisted having 2 men on the post in the corners. That's the exact reason why.
Rivaldo. Parler digging away at him. Dixon's gone across to double mark.
So that's another. Dixon did well there. The double banking on Rivaldo was shoving him into the corner. But it looked there as if Parler wanted to have a kick at him. You've got to be patient in those areas round by the penalty area.
Mondi is the offender again, this time on Figo, who's listed as a right-sided attacking player, but who is just everywhere at the start of the game.
Who can also pop them from this range as well. Remember him hitting one, I think it was against the Republic a few years ago from this sort of distance.
Rivaldo, Sergi has cropped up blind side and delivered a good-looking cross, and De Boer's header was against the back of Tony Adams and behind for a corner.
Good deep cross, and that's a great block by Adams. I don't think he knew much about it, but certainly importance was there. I'm a bit surprised Arsenal wasn't a very tricky corner. They were well aware of it.
Figo again to deliver! And Bojada getting up and firing a header just over the crossbar. He's a vast man with strength, hard to mark.
I mean, he's well above everybody else. He's a big guy, as you so rightly said, but that's Arsenal's trademark, defending these things.
And now Figo. Figo's shot, maybe got a little touch, and Maniger has spilt it, and Danny's won it back, and he's gone down under Keogh's challenge. And the German referee has waved it all away.
Here's the shot that he spills. Darney's following him. That's why I think he's been preferred to Clive. He's more of a sharper striker. Not a penalty, but could well have kidded the referee there.
Serge. Like Keogh, but it won't come to Bergkamp, instead to Guardiola. Now to Luis Enrique. Clever ball for Cocu. And Rivaldo's in there, and Maniga's got a touch, and Vieira's in trouble, and Luis Enrique has run it in, and Barcelona have the lead. This is a ground whose noise is frightening at moments like these. And for Patrick Vieira and Alex Maniga, it is noise that will hurt.
Well, this is most of Arsenal like. Yes, it was slick, it was played through. Cocu's carried it, he's tried to play it across the box. Manning has spilt it, and watch this now. You don't mess about there, Patrick, you give it plenty. That should have been over the top of the new camp, if you like. But the let off, the keeper's fumbled it. Now that's the time to whack it, but to fiddle about on your goal line. Luis Enrique cannot believe his luck on that. Well, that is a gift. You don't do that in a match of this magnitude.
That is not the Arsenal way. Winterburn's throw. Bergkamp nudging it back. Grimondi. It's come back to Dixon now. They hit one left-footed.
This is a great defensive block, you know. This is a goal, I think, of Grimondi's. This is the secondary shot, though, but the one just before that from Grimaldi, it's a decent save. The one from Grimaldi was well. Oh, that's a great save by Cocu. I still think if they can keep getting together and get the discipline and get the marking right at the back, I still think they've got enough up front, Arsenal, to pull something out the fire here.
Rivaldo. Too much for Dixon.
I tell you what, he should have a license for that skill. That is unbelievable. He threw 15 dummies, shaped across it twice, and then knocked Lee Dixon. Lee Dixon got no alternative but to just obstruct it.
Figo is the right-footed alternative with in-swing. And it bounced horribly between Luis Enrique and Managa's near post. Rivaldo, here is Sergi on the overlap. Via Dixon, and then Keown's header away. Rivaldo to hit one! Never mind the angle. Never mind the minimal moment he had to size up his opportunity. Just a fearsome drive.
I think this ball's hit as hard as any ball I've seen this season. He has really whacked it. Great play from Manninger. I think he should count his fingers just to make sure they're all there after a shot like that. Tremendous effort from the big Brazilian.
Fantastic save too. Cocu, and again Cocu, and Darney's alone. It's Darney's shots. They work the space so terrifically cleverly then.
But the amount of space Cocu has got when he receives the ball, and he's only just off the back line of Arsenal. Fortunately, there was enough defenders squeezing to make sure Darney didn't get a good crack at that one.
It's half-time. Arsenal knew they were in for a major examination tonight, and a major examination is just what they have received over the first 45 minutes. The goal, when it came, was a bit of a choker scored by Luis Enrique after a mistake, first by Manninger and then by Vieira. It's the only one that Barcelona have scored, as a result of which in the Nou Camp the half-time score is Barcelona 1, Arsenal 0. Tough enough, all square in the Nou Camp from one down. Well, anything other than defeat for Arsene Wenger and his side would be a spectacular result, Rob.
Very much so. But I still think they've got a goal in them. Whether they can defend and keep Barcelona at bay and just hold them to the one, I don't know, because Barca can come at you from all angles. But I do think, like I said in the first half, if Bergkamp, Canu and Overmars really get the game by the scruff of the neck, they're capable of making things happen. They promised a little bit early on the front three, but they flitted and filtered out right at the death. They've got to carry it through now. They're class players.
Vieira. De Boer with the challenge. Vieira wants a bit of it again, but Reisinger's brought it away.
Yeah, he's running the risk there as well, Vieira, isn't he? If he makes a rash tackle on Reisinger after his first half booking, got a problem. It's
Cocu there, I think, who has the problem, grounded near the edge of his own penalty area. Here's the moment it happened.
Actually seemed insignificant, didn't it?
Vieira, Bergkamp, Overmars, Reisinger going back. Arsenal's corner.
Great defending. That's a couple of times he's had runs with Reisinger, and Reisinger stayed strong against him. I mean, I must admit, when the ball's played into his run, I was expecting Mark Overmars to steal a yard on the defender there, and he didn't get it.
Overmars has played it on. Keown with the flick.
That's a good flick. That's something you would have expected to watch. Vieira on that one. He's got the little flick, Keown, and I thought Vieira might have anticipated that that was going to drop down for him. Stood flat-footed on the second post.
Arsene Wenger said he would come away and play as if he was at home. He wants to attack, he wants to get goals, and now he needs to get goals, and Bergkamp could be a supplier of goals. It's Dennis Bergkamp for Arsenal, and Kanu was arriving.
That's brilliant. That's Bergkamp at his best. But I just wonder, we mentioned about Suker earlier. I think Kano here could have just pulled out a little bit. He's gone for the far post. Bergkamp would have been hard pressed. But I think if it had just pulled out a little bit more, no, he'd have had it all on to cut it back. That's about all they could have hoped for. But at least it was definite, and that'll give Bergkamp a lift.
Guardiola.
That's good
Enrique.
pressing. That's better. A little bit unfortunate at the end. The ball broke kindly for Barca.
Cocu, Sergi, bags of space for it. Rivaldo just infield, Danny edge of the penalty area. Still Sergi.
Equally adept, you know, Sergi. There's this thing about him going down on the left-hand side. The number of times I've seen him play for Barca where he comes in on that right foot. That's not a problem to him, and he nearly caught Manning napping at the near post.
Well, of course, he was a left winger at the start of it all. It was Cruyff who turned him into a left back. He has it mentally to get a long way beyond the halfway line. Overmars, this is good, away from Cocu and still going, and with Parler in support. Ray Parler, away from Sergi. And he's won a corner for Arsenal. You just get the feeling that Arsenal are starting to believe now.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot more drive, certainly. I mean, it's amazing how Barcelona, I know Barcelona are one of the sort of teams that they can take a quick one if they're wide awake. I know Arsenal are one of the teams that, sorry, Barca are one of those sort of teams that do have time-out spells in a game, but they've certainly put them out of the stride this half.
Winterburn again to deliver, and Adams again to climb. Luis Enrique had a touch, and Keown fired it over.
Half chance, yeah. Perhaps a touch more than a half chance. I think if you're saying Suker, you'd say that's a full chance, wouldn't you? On the left foot.
Well, won by Parler. Vieira. Kanu into the penalty area. Kanu!
Good moment for Arsenal. Got more thrust. Good work by Vieira, and then completed by Kanu. Almost a goal. His best effort of the night. Good strength there. He's holding off the defender very well. Gets his shot in.
Saw the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes. Overmars with a corner, and
I've been very, very disappointed with Arsenal's delivery on set plays. Just wonder whether Bergkamp might be better taking some of them.
well, Arsenal are really scrapping now. They're scrapping too much. Grimaldi is off. His challenge on Guardiola, fueled no doubt by nothing more than enthusiasm, was deemed to be overzealous by the German official, and Gilles Grimaldi is shown the red card. Arsenal, a goal down in the Nou Camp, are a man down in the Nou Camp.
That's
and
what
there
it's
is
for.
why.
That's what it's for. He can have no complaints about that act of stupidity. No complaints. The referee let Tony Adams' high foot go through. Even to the extent that it's Arsenal that have been given the free kick.
Ljungberg. Suker waits and Kanu waits, and Keown is forward as well. Suker has won it. Kanu tried to turn. Suker! Kanu! 1-1! Arsenal's 10 men have done what seemed impossible. Another late goal. And well might they jump up and down in their corner of glee. It's Cardew again. Arsenal are all square.
Well, he's got a double contribution here, Sucre. He's fought for the first header. He gets the shot in, the rebound comes, and the man who I think has been the most likely Arsenal player to score has done it. But that's a good double effort from Sucre, good contribution. Slight miss hit, but fortunately sends the keeper the wrong way. Now then, that's incredible.
De Boer with the ball in towards Danny. You'd always want Tony Adams in your side.
That was his biggest moment of the game. That was a magnificent piece of defensive work. He read the header down, intercepted just as they're about to pull the trigger. Been a marked improvement from a lot of the Arsenal players in terms of, I think they've got quicker across the ground in the second half. They've got on the front foot more.
Cocu with the cross. Danny back post. And Manninger's come to get it. Winterburn was going to make doubly sure, though.
Yeah, golden rule of defending. If you're not sure, deal with it and then have your argument.
The 93rd minute. Guardiola's corner. Henry with the defensive header. De Boer winning it back, and then Henry booting it deep into opposition territory. Long from Sergi. Adams felt the brunt of Figo's challenge. This is a very frustrating period for the Barcelona players.
It's not a disastrous result for them, though, is it?
Far from it. Far from it.
In fact, I was wondering how much of that came into Van Gaal's thinking. You know, he's a very attack-minded manager, but you just wonder at half-time where they should eat. The important thing is now we don't lose the game. Obviously, he thought he was going to win it comfortably.
That is a belting result for Arsenal. But for one first-half catastrophe, it could have been even more magical. But last night in this stadium, I saw Cardew shaking hands with Van Gaal, old times, big smiles. Tonight he has shaken him warmly by the neck and got a late equaliser for 10-man Arsenal, who had fallen behind to an early goal from Luis Enrique. Gilles Grimandi was sent off, but the night in the end was the Nigerians' night. It's finished in the Nou Camp. Barcelona 1, Arsenal 1.
Arsene, a big performance, a big result for Arsenal tonight.
Yes, I think we needed a good result tonight, and we were down 1-0, and it was very difficult because Barcelona had a great first half, but we had a great reaction in the second half, and it was all us. And in the end, I think we scored 10 minutes before the end, but we deserved really to come back to 1-1. I believe it's a fair result.
Again, you got a goal with 10 minutes to go. It keeps happening. Kanu's done it again for you, but Davor Suker has booed. I've never heard boos like it before. Almost inevitably, he's involved in a goal, I suppose.
Yeah, that was unbelievable, wasn't it? That was quite scary. And it was just like him to go and have a great shot. I thought he actually scored, and that would have been great for him. I don't think it would have been so fun for the supporters, but and Kanu's gone in and finished the rebound, which was fantastic for us.
What did you feel like when 100,000 people are screaming at you when you come onto the pitch?
Motivation, more motivation, and fight and a good spirit for my team. And I think so. It's first time these players looking this situation, but it's usually in Spain, in Camp Nou, in Santiago Bernabeu, and don't worry, no problem.